Alright, Libra. Let's get into this collective reading for you. This is going to be for any and all Libra placements. So please have some discernment when you are listening to collective reading, because I'm not just reading for you. There are other people that are Libras too. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's see what... Yeah, well... Something feels like that needs to be the clarifier deck. And this is going to be... the main one. Just want to make sure. Oh, dang it. Just gonna do that. That feels right. Alrighty. Clear on this message for Libra. Any and all Libras. If you know your birth chart, have discernment when listening to this in the areas of your birth chart. If you don't know what a birth chart is, that is completely fine. You don't need to know everything about all the spiritual topics to either listen to just some advice or take something that resonates. The moon card came out here. The moon, the tower, the Knight of Pentacles kind of coming out sideways. The Magician reversed. So, you got every single tool in front of you. And you just looking at them like, that's cool. I want people to use their own discernment in what kind of tools these are. Are these mental, emotional, or physical tools? I'm not exactly sure. Somewhat mostly emotional tools, and I think this is not giving yourself enough credit for how good something makes you feel. And I think this is where the reframing and restructuring of your mind starts to kind of take place. There is a lot of, hey, I want something more and want something better, but also it feels like, not like you're pulling teeth to get it, but it feels like you're pulling teeth to get it because of how I think we can't never stop thinking about how society feels about things. How society and just the world around us and our environment feel about the things that we want for ourselves or want to build for ourselves. And I think the biggest thing is that The only time I think it becomes a genuine concerning matter is if what you're doing in life is not providing you with a solid foundation and a solid structure to build a home upon. A home in your heart, or a literal physical home. You cannot build a home with rotten wood. You cannot build a home with wood that is not suggested or recommended to be a support beam kind of wood. You need to work with the actual proper genuine tools you have at hand. And I think this is where there is a fine line between, yes, some Libras are doing that actively and recognizing it, and also just taking mental notes of this at the time. But I think there's a lot of you that are like very confused and want to find out how we can, like, you're saying this to yourself, like, how we can break down this internal structure to build something new that's going to be strong for us, and going to be strong in a way that takes care of X, Y, and Z fucking insecurity, worry, weight, burden you feel inside of you. You genuinely, I think, are realistic in knowing you can't solve everything. You can't solve everything all at once, but you can at least understand how to handle it in the moment when it comes up. And I think this is where you are really becoming finely attuned to your own physical and mental health combined. Even three of it: physical, mental, emotional health. The physical and mental well-being of yourself and your soul. You are being asked to even look in this direction, whether you like it or not. I think the universe and life itself is kind of throwing a lot of synchronistic things your way, and just like, hey, like, you gotta break down these structures in your mind and really let yourself be free. Like, genuinely let yourself be free. And that's the thing with when we focus on what makes us feel free in the moment, we honestly forget about all the worries and insecurities we may have had. Maybe there's, like, someone can make a comment and you're like, oh, well, that didn't feel good, but to be honest, I don't even want to think about that because I gotta get this fun thing ready for the activity that you're doing that someone wanted to, who cares? They're not having fun, you're having fun kind of mentality. And it's almost like treating those random people or strangers or even just society in general, whatever it may be for you, whether it is, even if it's people you know or people you don't know, it's a mix of both for some of you. The being perceived part is, I think, very... I heard the word obnoxious. Somebody is just... being seen is so fucking obnoxious sometimes. But also in the sense of, you understand that it comes with good and bad. Like, life in general is going to come with good and bad. There's a general sense of awareness in this. So, when it comes with both of them, where does your focus truly tend to lie? Where on the good and bad part does your focus just be honest? And you don't gotta be honest with me, you gotta be honest with yourself first and foremost. If all you do is look at the bad, and that's all you think life should be, you know that's not all you think life should be. I think this is where there's a lot of good in you wanting to be expressed, but it's literally the good of having fun. Having genuine, wholehearted, like, fun and just, oh, okay, this makes me kind of feel alive again. And it's something small, whether it's just, like, going on a run in a really nice park that's just super scenic and really pretty, but you're just going on a run like any other run that you've been on if you do that kind of a thing, just as an example. But feeling in the moment and using that as your tool. That is the... When you use living in the moment as a tool of creativity and a tool of motivation and just creative manifestation in your life, there's so much trust that you give yourself and you open yourself to. And it's not trust to just the universe, it's trusting to yourself. You are trusting yourself to actually be free for once and live in the moment. And honestly, there's somebody saying if that's all there is to live for, then what else is there? If that's all there is to live for, and you're asking yourself what else is there, it's yourself. Hey Libra, what do you want to do? It doesn't have to be anything crazy, like intricate or elaborate. You just want to go to a park and, I don't know, you want to hang out with me and play with some hula hoops. It doesn't have to be anything fun, but we can just toss them in the air and just have fun and giggle like kids. And just feel alive a little bit. I think there's a very common trend of feeling alive. I think this is very prevalent to the full moon that just passed and the new moon that just passed. If anyone's aware of the astrology, there's a very serious and very analytical, like analyzing kind of energy with this last full moon that we had. And any new moon that comes up, any time a new moon is up, I want you to take these new moons as, okay, where in my life am I taking small steps forward? And it doesn't have to be like the exact first step, because I think just taking a step is that first step in the direction. So where are you taking a step in a direction, in a not necessarily new venture, but this new venture for you is this newfound structure that's building up inside of you, that's kind of bubbling up and kind of, hey, you're coming to a higher understanding and awareness of yourself, the world around you, but really how you function with yourself and the world around you. All the interconnected bits and bobs and gears and functions in between, how you function and you functioning with the world around you, how you live your life essentially. But it's also understanding how we are. I feel like this is for some neurodivergent people, just to kind of put an umbrella of people under that one word. There's a lot of different people that are under that word, but there's a sense of really explaining how to properly like step on the gas pedal. And it reminded me of someone speaking about therapists and how they were frustrated, but they were like trying to get them to understand how like ADHD and autistic people, essentially a lot of just neurodivergent people, when you tell them to step on the gas pedal, go take a step forward, it works on an automatic car, but that doesn't work on a manual car. And when you do that to a manual car, you stall your engine. So you gotta understand how a clutch works, essentially. If your brain works on manual, you gotta understand how to work the clutch. That sounds silly. And understand which gear to shift into the right time. But when you understand which gear does what for you, I want to then translate these gears as like, hey, these are functioning, moving things in your life. Things that either get you moving or are just moving because time is passing. Like, for example, my streaming career is moving because I'm actively streaming right now. Your path to your exercise goal is actively in the progress of moving, and the gear is moving because you are actively exercising, kind of a thing. Those gears, okay? These are different things that are genuinely moving in our lives. And when we don't have the right clutch and gas pedal combo thing going on, because I don't even know how to drive manual yet. Apparently my boyfriend is very determined to try and teach me, and I don't know how that's gonna go. I was able to drive a manual dirt bike before, so it can't be that hard. The gears make me nervous. I didn't have to shift gears when I was riding the dirt bike. I think there was only like 2 gears. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know stuff. Don't quiz me. But there is this energy of understanding which gear to shift into at the right time, because let's say like there's like exercise, there's painting, there's going a walk on a park kind of a thing. These things that get you moving. It doesn't have to be essentially like those things, because I'm just coming up with examples, but if you feel like, oh, you know what, I need this gear in my life, I want to shift into this gear right now, okay, step on the clutch, do your whole thing, and shift into that gear. It's preparing yourself to shift into these gears and get yourself moving. So once you see yourself moving, I think this is where a big change happens for a lot of Libras. This is where we're gonna... Someone said you need 3 legs for a manual car. Hush your mouth. Get out of the gutter. Out of there. Manual transmissions on cars won't exist in another 10 years. Electric vehicles don't have transmissions. Sad. But I think with the problem with lithium batteries, if they don't have a solution to that, literally the whole world is going to burn before we can even let electric cars take over in any scenario. I will say, the Demon Forge, who is my boyfriend, if anyone is from Twitch watching this on YouTube, my boyfriend pops into my chat. We share an office here. He loves manual cars, so it's why I know a little bit, and he's very determined to try and teach me how. I don't want to fuck up his engine, and I'm scared. I'm just scared because it's scary to fuck something up that's gonna be like $1,000 worth of a fuck up. So you plan accordingly, and this is why you practice, and you can practice with different things. There was somebody who they put their feet on each other's, they put their feet together, like the backs of their feet, and they just had each foot like, okay, switch into this gear, like press on the pedal, like each foot was a pedal kind of a thing. And they were pretending to like shift gears and learn how to like manually do it, which honestly I think I could get like a... Sorry, I just thought of getting some like training wheels. Manual training wheels. Back to the reading. The Moon. 5 of Wands reversed, 10 of Wands, and 8 of Swords reversed. Ooh. 10 of Wands, usually sometimes I see it as the burden of responsibility, but it's the responsibility of what's going to be the betterment for our souls. This 10 of Wands card really showcases that sometimes these 10 Wands are going to be crucial in rebuilding that tower. That's what that tower is in the background of that 10 Wands. It's the tower that fell over here. There's all these resources and supplies from all this rubble, and you could really do a lot with it. And I think this is really seeing how you can do a lot with just a little. And I think that's the key. Excuse me. Doing a lot with just a little is honestly, in my opinion, the most resourceful, like, skill to have in life. It's a skill you can learn, and it's a skill that people are constantly finding new, like, life hacks for things. But there's also a shift that needs to happen in getting yourself out there and doing it. Because this is where I think this tower card's really kind of coming into play. Let's get some clarification. Whoa. Ace of Pentacles reversed. 6 of Swords. The Magician which this tarot deck calls it the Alchemist, and it came out reversed again. The Magician and the Magician came out reversed. Oh, the World card's under there? What the fuck? We have the first card, 1, and the last card. This isn't the first card, because there is the Fool before that card, but it's like 1 and 100. Interesting. You feel like you have to leave behind an old chapter that feels like an old dream you had, but you don't. Like, it's like you get to bring this Ace of Pentacles with you. But if you don't believe that, then it's not going to come with you. And if you feel like you're going to mistakenly forget it, you can still go back and get it. There's still this era of, hey, that pentacle there is still with the Magician. And it almost feels like there's an energy of you feel like you can't take this part of you with you into this new chapter. Why is that? What if this part of you feel like you can't take into the new chapter is the new chapter in itself? What if that part of you is a part of the new chapter in itself? And I think I wanted to ask you why, because I think it's hard to think of why, and that is the point. There shouldn't be any hesitation towards this new structure in mind, but also that's where the hesitation comes in, because you're like, for once in your life, you don't feel hesitant anymore. You don't feel like you have to be scared of what you're gonna go through on the other side of this choice. You're like, I'm determined to rebuild this tower, and I kind of like that. I kind of actually like putting in this work. This is where I think the commitment to life itself starts to really play into favor, because I think this is where you're truly learning how to feel alive again. And I think this is a big thing with a lot of people, like everyone, dude. Everyone is learning how to feel alive again. This is a collective energy right now, but clarifying the Knight of Pentacles reversed, we have the Hierophant, the Princess or Page of Cups there, and the Empress. Commitment into what fulfills you and actually what gives you joy in life is the thing that actually fully sustains you and allows you to grow into your fullest self here, this Empress. The growth you have as this Empress card is only so strong because you stayed so committed to yourself. And so committed to understanding what is truly for you and what is not. And just because you may feel like you can't take certain things with you doesn't mean that they're gone forever if you choose this new path. It's so much like understanding how much you enjoy the work you put in for yourself, while also understanding how much you enjoy, I want to say, like, committing your service to others, but in a way that actually fulfills you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be somebody that is... Sorry, my back is, like, all stiff. I need to stretch. Maybe you do, too. I think this is an energy of realizing you can keep the balance of taking care of others and taking care of yourself at the same time. But understanding how when you take care of others, does it fulfill you? Does it make you feel good? And do you know that you're going to at least get some kind of energy in return that is either somewhat equal or equal to the energy you give out? Because I feel like you are fine with not getting something fully, like, doesn't have to be exactly equal in return. It's more of like the thought that counts more than anything. And that could just be you in your nature, Libra. But I also want to remind you, like, just think of your own energy. It doesn't matter if anyone's asking you, or it doesn't matter who's asking you of something. Just always ask yourself, okay, do I have time and do I have energy? That's all you need to ask yourself in any scenario. And I think this is really, this is such a new perspective for Libra that you're Libras in general are gaining. And I know for a fact it's been very tough and terrifying in the mind space. Everything has been so confusing, and it feels like you've been like just tearing at different parts of your soul, just like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand all of this. And it's almost like you're trying to find this thing that you lost as a kid, but you know it's somewhere in here. You know it's in here. Why can't you find it? What is all this stuff? Where did this come from? Kind of a thing. You're finding random shit from your childhood you didn't even know you had still. And you're just trying to find this one thing. And it feels like all of this stuff that's been like ripped away. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this to the wayside. This is like a shedding of a skin, like a layer that is shedding in order to grow. And this is where a true new perspective starts to come in for you. And I don't want you to feel bad about it at all. I don't want you to think that for 1 second any of this is a bad choice or you're not thinking intuitively. All of this has been intuitive. You've seen signs left and fucking right, and I think you just needed this confirmation. Because holy shit, yeah, you fucking needed it. You don't gotta tell me or anyone what you've been going through as long as you are taking care of you. Because you fucking got it. You gotta trust yourself, Libra. Trust. And tell yourself, even if you have to say it in your head, if you don't even want to say it out loud, but look at yourself in the mirror and say, I trust myself. I trust my intuition. I trust my intuitive self. You fucking say that and you fucking mean it, okay? Because I fucking love you. I fucking love you, Libra. So thank you for letting me read your fucking cards. And you better have a good fucking day or fucking night, wherever you fucking are on this fucking planet Earth of ours. And find some time to laugh. I think you need to find some time to genuinely laugh and feel like you're in the moment. Live in the moment whenever you're laughing, genuinely. Fucking A. Someone in the chat just said fucking A. Alright. For anyone who is going to be watching on YouTube in the future time, thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoyed. And please come hang out with us on Twitch if you are watching in the future. And if you do hang out with us on Twitch, you're fucking cool. Fucking love you. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I still fucking love you too, alright? It's the learn to live a little, but you don't need to learn. You just have to do. You just had to find out which gear to shift into. Learn how your clutch works. Learn how your manual system works. We all got a different neurodivergent brain. Like, for me, I'm going to tell you one thing. The only reason I'm able to get up early in the morning is because I set alarms like an hour beforehand. And then that, essentially, I bully myself awake because I know I can't get my ass up. And I'm going to be grumpy if I do. I'm going to be in a fucking shitty mood if I force myself awake. So, another thing is if I don't write shit down, there's certain things that I need to write it down and have it written down somewhere that is one place I write things down. I don't even buy planners, but I found this one and it was enough and I liked it and I liked how it was very simple and I could just see a whole month here and then see a whole week go one page. I was like, fine, sure. It's any dumb shit I want to write down, I find a single place. This is how my brain works. Okay? You gotta... I used to call it stupid checking myself, but you're not stupid. We're not stupid. But we can laugh about it and we can call it stupid checking ourselves just to fucking... We can have a laugh. Like, come on. As long as you believe and you know you're not stupid. Because I don't believe you're stupid. Okay? I trust you. And I thank you for letting me read your cards. So, thank you. I love you. Ooh, hold on. I feel the need to read this. One of the most useful things I was ever taught, I was in my 30s for context for someone in the chat, was to only have one place where I wrote things down. That's actually very helpful. I'm glad that I knew I wasn't alone, because my brain, if I have 7 different notebooks, oh my god. I don't even want to talk about how much anxiety and overwhelming feelings I get when I have 7 different notebooks and they're all like different general notes. And no, one notebook for one thing, one notebook for this one thing, and that's it. Nothing else. Discipline. Because if I don't, I'm gonna go crazy. Anyway, this is what discipline is. And it's also called discipline, not stupid checking. Anyway, that's all. I felt the need to say that because it's also just, listen, it's helpful to know you're not alone, especially you guys. Remember that. So, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for being here, and let me read your cards. And I hope you come and hang out with us on Twitch. And also, as always, I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.